Hi everyone, welcome back to the forecast for the month ahead. This is for September 2025. I am running a little bit late with this. It's been such a hectic time with a lot going on. Even today, it's like the energy is quite frenetic. If I talk too fast or too slow for you, remember you can always, tweak that little dial thing that speeds up or slows down the video. I think I try to speak at a pretty good pace, but sometimes if you're in a hurry you can always speed it up, or if you want to feel chill you can slow it down. All right, this month is a big month, guys, because we have it's eclipse month, so we have eclipses in mutable signs. Okay, so I'll explain what that means if you don't know. So the first eclipse is happening on the 7th of September in Pisces, the second one on the 21st in Virgo. So if you have strong mutable signs, those signs being Pisces, Virgo, Gemini or Sagittarius in your chart, this month is a very destined month for you in many ways. So pay attention to what's going on in your life, like what is trying to push you forward, what is closing off, what's the energy around a path of new growth for you in your life. All these things are going to be really interesting for the mutable signs. And also, if you know your chart, look to where you have Pisces or both, actually, Virgo, to see what houses of your chart, and if there's anything being affected by the eclipses for you. If you know how to read your chart, if you need the help of an astrologer, go to my website www.readingswithsusan.net. the link's below, and you can book a reading with me. I do have one question readings all the way up to very in-depth readings, and I even have like audio recorded readings which are more on the affordable end, and then I have stuff that's like more expensive, that's way more in-depth. So it's up to you, and obviously whatever you want for yourself or what you need and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, go to that link. If you want to join me on Patreon and you want to know more about the eclipses, for a limited time I have the Pisces lunar eclipse video for all signs. So I'll talk about general info about what to expect with this eclipse in Pisces on the 7th of September, and for all signs with timestamps under the video. This is free if you join on the free membership. There's no obligations or anything. It's completely free, but it is a temporary it's temporarily free, so it'll be free for up to the 6th of September. And after that, if you want to join, you have to, if you want to access that video, you either have to pay to unlock it or you have to join my Patreon, which is not such a bad thing because I do offer a lot of free content, as much as I can put out with the time that I have. I'm always very aware of putting content out for you guys on there, and there's people that have been with me for like 2.5 years on there, which I really appreciate, you guys. If you want to join, I do stuff on eclipses, I do extra videos for all signs on stuff going on in the astrology that I do not post anywhere else. Okay, and that said, let's get into this video. So I'm going to talk about what to expect this month. There's a lot going on, like I said. Now, firstly, one of the key things is the planet Saturn, which is the planet of structure, routine, restriction, also our working life. And Saturn's always about big decisions and big energies and karmic stuff, like karmic themes that we're dealing with at this time. Saturn actually goes retrograde. It's already retrograde now. It went retrograde from the 2nd of September, which is a couple of days ago. So it will be retrograde till late November. During this time, it's not really, if you can help it, the best time to make huge life decisions. But then again, some people might have Saturn retrograde in their natal chart, and if you make a big decision when you've got in that chart, your chart, it's not so bad. Like if you have that when you were born, Saturn retrograde, and then the transiting Saturn retrograde can trigger changes, right? But for everyone else, if you don't have Saturn retrograde in your natal chart, this can be a period of a bit of a slowdown in some way, or you can feel sort of like there's certain things that are important that you're trying to go over in your life to fix, rework, things maybe that have been left for a while that you haven't dealt with. Sometimes these things can be to do with work, paperwork, bosses, parents, parental elder figures in your life, people with authority in your life, things like to do with taxes, potentially, depending, or things that are to do with your responsibilities. Okay, so we can be revisiting these things, but it's not the best time to start something new. If you want to start something new, you're looking more towards, and when I say start something new, I don't mean just a small thing. I mean like moving home or starting a new career, something big, or something like that. The end of towards the end of November, after around the 21st, I believe, off the top of my head. So anyway, Saturn's going to be joining the other planets that are retrograde. Pluto's retrograde, Neptune, and Uranus. Also, Chiron's going to be retrograde for a while. So What this means when there's quite a few planets retrograde is we are processing a lot. We're processing a lot internally within ourselves. We're processing a lot in terms of preparing for the future. So once planets start to go direct, then the energy starts to shift and move. Like I said, Saturn will go direct towards the end of November, when the energy will start to slowly move forward towards practical big changes that you want to make. Okay, so if you're feeling like things are slow from this time in some way, that is normal, so just be aware of that. Now, the other stuff going on, it is, well, we're in Virgo season until the 23rd of September, which then switches over to Libra season. Happy birthday to the lovely Librans. Also, Mercury enters Virgo, or has entered Virgo on the 3rd of September. I'm running late with this video, I know. So I'm doing this on the 4th. I think it is, yeah, the 4th today. Mercury entered Virgo on the 3rd. So what that means is our minds are actually working a lot faster with Mercury in Virgo. Mercury is in its home sign in Virgo. It's very well placed there. It does have the energy of fast-paced fact finding energy, like what are the facts, what's the information, what do I need to do. It does bring in the focus to health, routine, diet, exercise, what we do in our routine, our pets, and our working life. So the mind can be very much on the work and the pets and the routine and health stuff, okay, while Mercury is in Virgo, which will be in Virgo until the 19th of September, when it then switches over to Libra. So after the 19th, we have Mercury then in Libra, which is more social, more about relationships. That's where our mental focus will be after that. So this really, right now, it is a time to focus on work, health, routine, and getting those things right, and being, you know, on point with things, like watching and checking the details of things, stuff like that. We may feel a bit more relaxed when Mercury goes into Libra, because it does, like I say, kind of getting out of Virgo helps us kind of feel a little bit less stressed, I think, mentally. And it can open up more social avenues with more of a wanting to connect with others and communicate more openly and fairly about things. With Mercury going into Libra after the 19th, also another thing with that is Libra is very much about justice, like about fairness, justice, like what's happening with that in society, around us, in our workplace, in our relationships. Fairness and compromise come into focus. Now, next thing, the eclipse. First one, September 7th, full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. If you're a mutable sign, you are going to be most affected by this. I would say definitely all the mutable signs are going to feel it. So Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, you guys are going to feel this the most, okay? Globally, we could see some issues with water because it is in Pisces and it's connecting with the North Node in Pisces. This is a very intense, how can I describe it, like a destined, fated energy. And in Pisces, which rules the oceans, there could be things that come into focus to do with the oceans, the beaches, you know, anything to do with earth changes, you know. So you could see things like you know, I mean, I don't want to say tsunamis, hopefully not, right? But this is the type of energy that can absolutely bring that kind of thing. Problems with water, problems with flooding, earth erosion around, you know, coastal areas near homes, things like that. Anything like to do with water that's probably could be problematic. Okay, so that's just the reality of a lunar eclipse. But because there is a trine with Jupiter, I think that definitely helps to, I would hope, make it less negative. Okay, so that's what I would say. But, you know, lunar eclipses can be a bit intense. Like, people can feel a sense of trepidation leading up to it. But, you know, obviously it depends on your chart, where you're located in the world, like where you are located in your life. Just all the things to do with your own personal chart are more important than, in a way, the global stuff, because something could happen in another country that, you know, you're not even aware of. I mean, these days we're too aware of the news. The human mind is not meant to be taking on all that stuff, I believe. I try to avoid the news as much as I can. I do catch some things here and there, but, you know, try to avoid it because I think it's mentally not healthy, to be honest. But there are global, and I don't believe in putting my head in the sand either, but it's about knowing you know, what your priorities are in your life and what you can handle and what you feel is too much at times. So yeah, global issues with water. Personally, for the mutable signs, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sag, you guys are going to find like there's something coming to a head for you, or coming to an emotional peak. You know, it could be anxiety producing at first, but then it could be some kind of revelation or deeper understanding or spiritual awareness. I do feel this is quite a spiritual eclipse, being that it's in Pisces. Being tapped into your intuition. What is your gut feeling telling you about the most important things that are coming up for you on around September 7th? And if you want to like know for your sign, like I said, I go through every sign on my Patreon, and you can watch for your sun, moon, and your rising. Okay, so go to my Patreon if you want more info on that full moon lunar eclipse. Moving on, September 20th, Venus enters Virgo. So Venus is not really well placed in Virgo. It's more of a difficult sign for love and finances. Okay, so Venus is hardworking in Virgo. Like Venus in Virgo loves to work. She loves to be of service. She loves to help others. But sometimes she's too self-sacrificing. She's doing too much for others. She's not doing for herself. So be careful of that energy, especially if you've got a lot of Virgo in your chart, or if you have Venus in Virgo, or if you have Venus in a mutable sign. Pisces, Sagittarius as well, Gemini. And yeah, so September 20th with Venus in Virgo, we are kind of focusing more on the details of our life, on our health, our well-being, which is a good thing. You know, it's a good time to detox and look after your health more. Venus in Virgo does bring in that focus, but also the downside with Venus in Virgo is she's a bit of a perfectionist. So she kind of like sees a tiny flaw and feels like everyone can see it, but not necessarily the case. You know, it's like we're our own worst critic when Venus is in Virgo. So just be aware of that energy and don't overgive to others, and don't be too critical of yourself and others with this energy. But on the positive, you can use this to improve things in your workspace, in your health, and or with pets. Then September 21st, the second eclipse of the month. See, I told you this is a big month, guys. This is a lot going on. I feel like I've been talking for ages already. I'm going to wrap this up quickly, but this new moon solar eclipse is in Virgo at 29 degrees. It's on an anaretic degree, a critical degree in astrology, so it can be intense. Again, it affects the mutable signs, Pisces, Virgo, especially Gemini and Sagittarius. If you want to know more about this new moon solar eclipse and what to expect with this new beginning, go to my Patreon. I will be posting a video on this in the next week. Okay, so you can join, like I said, the tier 1, which is $6.99 Australian dollars. That is, so if you're in America, it's like $4 or $5, and you can access so much content of my stuff on there. You can learn how to pull up your chart. You can learn how to read an astrology chart. I've got so many videos on there. Learn about all different things, and then keep updated with, you know, all the stuff that I post each month. Lastly, on the 23rd, I'm really happy for this news. Mars goes into Scorpio. Yay! Why am I happy? Because I'm a Scorpio rising, and it's energizing for Scorpio people. So if you've got Scorpio in your chart as prominent, so sun, moon, or rising in Scorpio, Mars going into Scorpio, which Mars is in dignity in Scorpio, it's going to be helpful for your energy. It's going to be helpful for your momentum. It's going to help you feel like you could feel like you're getting your mojo back if you haven't felt like that. Just got to drink some water, but it's good energy basically for Scorpios and for water signs as well. Okay guys, so sorry, just drink some water. Going to the cards for you now. Let's have a look. I'm going to do, speaking of water signs, I'm going to do the water signs first, and we'll go from there. All right, and if, like I said, if you'd like to book a personal reading, the link is below to my website. Some readings have faster turnaround than others, so if you want to book like a Zoom session, usually I can do that within a week or two. If you want to do a phone reading, and I can do that with you if you're overseas, we'll do it via WhatsApp, then we can organize that within a week or two. And the other readings are a little bit longer. With the video readings, I do take around 2.5 to 3.5 weeks, sometimes up to 4 weeks, so just be aware. But yeah, you can always check with me, but basically for Zooms and phone readings, they're faster. All right, water signs, let's see what's going on for you guys. There's a lot going on with the eclipse for the water signs, especially Pisces. So, oh my gosh, so speaking of Pisces, the cards just flung everywhere, but these two jumped out. All right, some stuff went on the floor. Some cards went on the floor. Hang on, guys. Oh, All right. So we've got 2 cards there. I'm also going to... This is the Mermaid Tarot, which is very appropriate for... for the eclipse energies. Let me just make sure that is on camera, because I don't like it when they're off camera. Okay. And let's get... This is the Wildwood Tarot, I believe it's called. Let's get one from here. So I'm using 2 tarot decks. I don't know why, but I just felt like it. Maybe it's the mutable energy eclipses. All right, what have we got here? 7 of Swords. All right, and I'm going to do some oracle cards as well. Water signs: Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And this is the animal oracle. Let's see what the animal messages are for the water signs for September. This one. Okie dokie. So, first card that came out here is the King of Wands. A powerful merman here. Okay, it's fire sign male energy. And the Knight of Pentacles, which is an earth sign. Usually it's represented as a male, but in this deck it's a female. Wow, I feel like I'm getting the feeling of a couple here, or a soulmate connection here. I am getting something like that. Can be a family member for some of you. There's some kind of importance of a connection, water signs, for someone that's close to you in your life this month. We have earth energy and fire. So think earth and fire signs. The earth is Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and fire is Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. And with this card we have the 7 of arrows. Which is the 7 of, in this deck, let me just double check that. Where the arrows, I think arrows is in this, I haven't used this deck very much, guys, so yeah, it's swords. Okay, yeah, it's swords. Confirmation, just checked in the deck. Okay, so 7 of Swords is like someone trying to get something for themselves in a sneaky way in a relationship context, or just be aware of someone being very strategic, water signs. Perhaps you have to be strategic because of something that you want. And you have to be careful that you are not... it says insecurity on the card, which is interesting. This is a very unique tarot deck. The 7 of Swords with this couple, it can be a couple of different things. It can be where don't let your insecurity at the moment override your practicality of trying to achieve something, water signs. That's what I'm getting. There may be insecurities in a relationship. There may be some kind of lack in a relationship that's on your mind, okay? And it's making you feel that you can't be solid in this connection for some reason with somebody. Like I said, this could be a love relationship. It could be a partnership, a business partnership, a family connection. It could be anyone, because this is a collective reading and lots of people are watching. So you're feeling insecure around that. Let's see what the animal message is. Eagle. Seize opportunities courageously. Yeah, I was saying, like, there may be something that in a practical sense you want to do, but you're feeling insecure about it or unsure, but don't let your confidence get knocked, is what I'm getting. Because with the eagle, it's very Scorpio energy. It's like, yeah, it's like, don't let your insecurities hold you back from going forward, is what I'm getting. Okay, let's see the last card. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. What a cool card. That's really powerful. Yeah, see, because your intuition is, and the eagle is about intuition as well. It's seeing things from a higher spiritual perspective. It's like, if something feels like it may not be working out, don't just quit on it because you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm not able to push for this, or I feel like I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to commit to this. But it's like, but are you trying though? It's a question that's coming up with this. So it's almost like, keep doing the steps, and if it works, great, keep going. If it doesn't, then reevaluate after that. Something practical I'm getting. All right, so that's for the water signs. Let's move on to the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. All right, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what comes up from the Wildwood Tarot for the air signs for September. Oh, something's jumping out. Page of Stones. Stones is Pentacles. The links. A new beginning with, could be a work situation for some, or a creative project. For air signs, it could be for the Page of Pentacles, like you're focused on your money, your practicalities, a job, what you're studying, you know, something in your practical life that you're at the beginning of. You know, you're at the beginning phase of something here. And that's interesting because there is a new moon in Virgo, the 21st of September, new moon solar eclipse. That could be significant for the air signs. Maybe some of you look at, if you know your chart, where you've got Virgo for that new moon, because I feel like this is to do with new things. Some of you may have already started something and you're just getting to the next step of this new thing. Okay, air signs at sea, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Knight of Swords, which is air sign energy. How interesting. So the Knight of Swords, air sign, male or masculine energy. It's communication as well. Communication coming in quickly this month for the air signs. Interesting. Let's get another card. There's a lot going on. And we have the Strength card. Okay. So you are being tested in your strength, your spiritual strength, air signs, at this time. There may be a situation in your life that involves a new path. The communication is very much involved here. How you communicate, you know, communication in relationships. And you may feel like this is requiring a lot of your strength to maintain a balance here with yourself and your emotions, especially, and others. So there's some kind of energy here of like trying to have something under control. See how she's like, it's hard to know. It looks like here, it looks like this whale is actually trapped in a net and she's actually trying to free it. That's very interesting symbology. You might be trying to help someone that you see as being in a difficult place in their life, or someone close to you is going through something difficult, and you're literally trying to unravel them from their own, they've got themselves into some kind of tizzy here or some kind of problem, you know. And it could be deeper things going on, like just in a relationship where there are certain dynamics where it's like the other person is going through a difficult time and you're just trying to be a support, trying to help. Let's just see what else comes up with the other cards from the animal sign. I can't remember what this deck is called. It's an animal oracle. Horse. Care for others and let them be free. Oh my gosh, I was just saying that. Care for others and let them be free. So it's like maybe some control issues are coming up in relationships. And with horse is all about freedom and personal empowerment. So doing what feels empowering for you and allowing the other person to do what feels empowering for them, and having some space to breathe. Horses, imagine horses in a like cordoned off in a farm or whatever behind the fence. It's like they need a lot of space, you know. They can't be just right next to each other constantly. They're going to start kicking each other. So this is something about this is coming up. It's like give each other space in a relationship energy, or give the people around you that you live with space, or give the energy between yourself and another in a relationship some breathing space. There's something here that I can feel. Ooh, this one. No, it's okay. It was weird. I felt it, then it dissipated. Because usually I can go by the energy or it just pops out. Okay, here we go. Make plans and focus. Okay, so this is saying instead of focusing on the other person so much, like on their internal struggle, because that may not be helping them. It's saying for air signs, focus on, again with the swords. Swords is always air. How interesting. And this one's not even a tarot deck. It's actually an oracle deck, obviously. This is saying, you know, don't get into battles with someone that is just irritable or is reactive. It's better to focus on the practical things that you can do and take the energy off focusing on their internal struggles. So it feels like this energy shows me you're helping someone, or someone's helping you as well. It could be in a workspace or in a relationship or something like that. But it really seems to be saying give people space, give yourself space, give yourself time and space. If you're in a new job, say, it's like don't stress out and put so much pressure on yourself that you have to know everything straight away. Give yourself time to process and to learn. And this is about giving yourself freedom as well, like doing things that make you feel free and empowered is really important, and having fun as well, I'm getting. All right, let's move on to, that was air signs. Let's go to the fire signs. All right, fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag. What have we got for September for you guys? Oop. Oh, that card just came out for the air signs. How strange. Page of Pentacles. I'm going to get another card from this deck. Fire signs for September. What's this one? The Green Man, which is a magician. Manifesting. Okay. And let's just get these mermaid cards. Actually, it's not the magician. Sorry, it's the in this deck, I think that's actually the Emperor. Sorry, guys, it's the Emperor. The Green Man's the Emperor, even though it looks like the magician. Taking charge of your situation. It could be anything here because it's something that you were having fears and issues with. Eight of Swords. That you were not seeing yourself clearly with. You're going through some kind of change here, fire signs, is what I'm getting. I'm going to do another tarot card from here because I feel like I need more information here. There's new beginnings with this page with work. Seven of Swords, again, that came up with the water signs, I believe. Okay, so what this is showing me is with the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords, it's like you're doing what you've got to do for your own mental health and balance. It looks like a work situation is coming up here. That's what I'm getting. Fire sign. So, you know, it's like if you feel that you have to kind of take space or have breaks with work or not be like dived in and giving 120%, like that's just where you're at right now. And it doesn't surprise me because, well, especially for Sagittarius, because the reason I say that because the eclipses are in mutable signs this month, which could be very draining for Sagittarians because it makes a square aspect to you guys. Leo and Sag may not feel it as intensely, but still this is for the fire sign. So what I'm getting is fire signs are wanting a break of some kind. Let's see what else comes up. Fire signs for September. Yeah, I'm hearing needing a break. Oracle, wait for important information. Okay, so maybe you're waiting to see like something that's gonna, some information coming through. Maybe you've put in for a break from work and you're waiting to be approved. It could be something like that, you know, or you're waiting for what your intuition's going to tell you about the next step in your life. Let's see what else. Be foreboding and patient. Yeah, see, very interesting. Similar energies. Look at the red and the gold. That's so eerie how that picks up. And they're from two different decks. Wow, I love that. So when colors come up like that, they're sort of similar, very similar. Gold is like the highest vibrational frequency in terms of colors and how it connects to energy. So it's about tapping into your God self, your connection to the higher powers, to your divine spiritual side. And the red is like staying grounded and rooted to earth, like base chakra, being rooted so you're not in fearful survival mode, or you're not worrying about finances or feeling like the rug could be pulled out from under you. So it's really important to be grounded for the fire signs and to be tapped into your passion, but also connected to spirit. That's really a strong message there. But yeah, it's like what I'm getting with these other cards is have balance between going forward to the things that you need to do, but also having time for yourself, because it feels a little bit rocky, the energy for me with that psychically. It just felt a bit like off kilter a little bit. All right, lastly, we've got the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Virgos might find this is a bit of a tough month because the eclipse is in mutable signs for both September 7th and September 21. Well, for the September 21 there is a new beginning, but it's just the energy is very intense when you've got two eclipses in mutable signs and you're a mutable sign Virgo. For Taurus and Capricorn, it's a bit more supportive energy. This one's trying to pop out. What is this? The King of Pentacles. So your material life comes into focus. Can be a father figure, can be a male person in your life, can be an earth sign potentially, or someone that is focused on getting ahead financially in their life, who's around you. Can also represent you. You also have King of Wands, so you have two masculine energies to do with fire and earth around you or connected to you. These also could be people in spirit depending on your life. Let's look at the Wildwood Tarot for the earth signs for September. What else is coming up? Two of Stones, so that's the Two of Pentacles, balance, and the Four. I want to get the Four of Stones, which is the Four of Pentacles. So something about staying balanced with the Two of Stones, but also juggling things. You might be having to juggle different things in your life. And it looks like you're also very focused on your material side of things, which is very normal for earth signs. Are often very focused on like, what are my materials, you know, how much money do I have in the bank, what resources do I have this week to use for my life, you know, all that stuff is very much in focus a lot of the time. And this, you're feeling very self-protective with the Four of Stones. You also could be in two minds about a relationship, because with the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, it's like this energy of, do I, don't I, for this person, if they're gonna, you know, possibly you might hear from someone from the past, earth signs this month. But you've look at the little deer hiding in there. It's so cute. The Four of Pentacles. That's a very unique Four of Pentacles. Very self-protective, feeling vulnerable, not feeling quite up to, you know, this potential rabbit energy just, you know, popping in. You know, it could be someone who has popped in and out of your life, who's sort of resurfacing this month potentially with the eclipses, you know, and you're just like, and because we have these male energies here, some of you, there might be two people around you. You might be feeling like, I just don't know, it might have the energy of like, it's a little bit too late, or you're just not in the mood. That's what I'm seeing. Donkey. Someone may have been a real donkey. Keep your heart open no matter what. How hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's very funny. So it is saying that you're not really feeling this person at the moment that might be trying to come back into your life, or you may bump into them, or you may get a text or call or something, and you're kind of not really feeling it. But because there's a soul connection with this person, you're just like, okay, well, I'll just, you know, of course I'm going to be compassionate, but protect yourself, I'm getting, because these energies with the tarot are saying you need to honor yourself here. You cannot just give endlessly to someone who doesn't know how to give to you. Hunter, track down your fears and desires. Interesting. You know, the hunter energy could be someone hunting after you, or, you know, lusting after you. Earth signs, I do get that is a possibility here with these energies. So it's like, know what you want and focus on what you want, not that Venus in Virgo energy that's coming in when it's like all about the other person. What do you want? What are your desires in relationship? That's what I'm getting, earth sign. So this is coming to focus this month. Yes, be compassionate, be kind to yourself and to the other, but don't overgive and don't feel obligated, and listen to your heart, like what you need to feel happy. That's like really, really important. All right, guys, that was the reading. Thank you so much. Like I said, if you'd like to book a reading, the links are below. Thank you for watching. Talk to you next month. And sorry it was a bit late. Thanks. Bye.